Hey folks, Will Brink here, www.brinkzone.com. I want to cover today briefly a very common topic of confusion, which is casein versus whey. These are, of course, two very popular protein supplements in the bodybuilding market, sports nutrition market, and such. Most of the confusion, I think, really comes from supplement company hype. People sort of either not understanding or perhaps misrepresenting the studies and such. To begin with, the simple part, cow's milk, and that's pretty much what everybody uses, so we're going to stick to cow's milk, is predominantly casein. The protein content, that is about 80% casein and about 20% whey. Different animals can have different ratios of casein to whey. For example, human milk is very high in whey. And that's where some milk allergies can come from, of course. When you give babies cow's milk is probably from the caseinate portion, but I'm going off on a different direction. So a lot of what people think they know about casein, of course, comes from some of these studies that found casein was labeled as a slow protein, whey was labeled as a fast protein. Casein is a fairly insoluble protein, so it tends to sit in the gut and slowly raise blood amino acid levels, whereas whey is quickly absorbed because it is a highly soluble protein. Especially the way it's produced today, it's instantized and just highly soluble stuff. So from there, people have gone running off to make all sorts of assumptions and such. And a lot of the problems here, some of the major problems, are honestly the way the studies are done. They tend to use fasted subjects who have not eaten in 8 hours or so, which is going to give you some very different results if you're using people that eat, as you and I probably do, every 3 hours or so, and the conclusions that come from those studies are different than what the real world would really have us conclude. And that's, not really the fault of the researchers. That's just makes sense as to they are trying to look for a specific effect of a specific protein. There's an article on the Brink Zone called the Religion of Pre and Post Workout Nutrition. I highly recommend you check that out. That goes into great depth onto those studies, so you really get a sense of where the downfall of making too much from such studies comes from. But basically, there are functional differences between whey and casein, whey and casein, and those functional differences of whey, of course, are its high BCAA content, its effects on glutathione, its effects on immunity and such. So there are some differences. Whey makes sense to take when you are, of course, looking for rapid absorption, which is typically post-workout. Casein makes the most sense to take during times when you may go for long periods of time without eating, such as before bed, or if you know you're not going to be able to eat for a while. I also think casein might have some particularly useful effects on a low-calorie diet when you're looking to maximize anti-catabolic effects. But they're sort of specialized places where they make sense. And you need to read up on that. Again, take that article. And then you'll start to see where it's not really as confusing as maybe it's made out to be by some. And people tend to overthink it. So take a look at that article and some other articles on the Brink Zone. I think that'll help you out. And if you like this information, please hit the Twitter and the like buttons. And I hope to see you all on the Brink Zone.
For more information on this topic, head on over to www.brinkzone.com, where you'll find my blog, more videos, free reports on fat loss, muscle building, supplementation, fitness, health, and longevity, as well as a ton of articles and my free weekly fitness newsletter. And I'll see you all on the Brink Zone.